and Urban Development. And Shiwangandu Member of Parliament, Mr. Stephen Kampyongo, was just about to ask a supplementary question to the Minister. So when business resumes, we do expect Shiwangandu Member of Parliament to ask his question to the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Still to come, we expect the House to consider two questions for oral answer under Standing Order 80, and question 125 will come from Kasenengwa, Member of Parliament, Mr. Philemon Twasa. He will direct his question to the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. He wants to find out whether the government has any plans to construct Kasenengwa Bridge across Kasenengwa River on Musoro Road in Kasenengwa District. If so, when the plans will be implemented, who the contractor for the project is, what the estimated cost of the project is, and if there are no such plans, why.
And question 126 is expected to come from Mr. Sipo Lazo Chilanga, Member of Parliament, and his question will be directed to the Minister of Health. He wants to know in A, how many of the following health facilities are earmarked for construction under the Build to Care program countrywide? District hospitals and health centers. In B, how many districts have been selected to benefit from the program? In C, what the names of the districts are, and in D, what criteria was used in selecting the districts, about the districts, and in E, if Chilanga district is not among the selected districts, why?
After consideration of those two questions, we expect Kamfinsa Member of Parliament, Mr. Christopher Kangombe, to move a private member's motion titled Revise the Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education Examinations Yearly Rules, that this House urges the government to facilitate the revision of Advanced Legal Education Yearly Examination Rules.
Yes, indeed, and we also expect the House to consider some bills at different stages, and today we do expect the estimates of revenue and expenditure, including capital, constitutional and statutory expenditure, to be considered, the report to be considered. Just now we take it to the floor.
Madam Speaker.
Bell, which signifies that a quorum has not yet requirement that 1/3 of members of Parliament need to be present for business to be transacted on the floor of the House. So once a quorum is constituted, we do expect business of the House to resume. And Matimba, we must make mention that our Honour the Vice President did move a motion to suspend Standing Orders 24, 27.1, 34.1, 116.3 and 123 of the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024 to enable the House to Tuesday 16th December 2025 from 09 hours until business is concluded on the order paper on each day, and allow for submission of proposed amendments to bills during the sitting of the House, as well as consider more than one stage of a bill at a single sitting and thereafter adjourn sine die. And just now we get into the details of some of these standing orders.
According to the National Assembly of Zambia Standing Orders 2024, days and times of sitting, the Assembly shall commence sitting at 14:30 hours on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and at 09 hours on Friday.
And according to Standing Order 27, automatic adjournment, that's Standing Order 27.1, on Tuesday and Thursday, the House shall ordinarily adjourn at 09 hours.
And Order, honorable members. When business was suspended, the House was considering question number 124 on the order paper, asked by the Honorable Member for Bangweulu, and the Honorable Member for Shiwangandu was asking a supplementary question. May the Honorable Member continue?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Before I was interrupted by my dear colleague, who has been with me since 2011, who saw the movement from out party leave, MMD was
the Honorable Member for Shiwangandu, just proceed with the question.
Madam Speaker, I was just reminding the Honorable Minister who was responding to the question that government is a going concern, and projects commenced by governments can be executed, and if they are not executed, those that take over complete. So I remember posing a follow-up question to you, Honorable Minister, on this matter. When you indicated that at that time, money had been raised, and that idea was we are going to execute the works within 1 month from the time you responded to the question. I'm still getting back to the same matter I raised, because if you had contracted, if you had outsourced, probably the contractor would have quickly executed the work. But what could have happened to that money which was released, the 11 million that you spoke about at that point? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Madam Speaker, I thank the Honorable Member for Shwangandu for the follow-up question. We do not need any reminding from the Honorable Member about the fact that government is a continuous process, and what gets left behind is carried forward by the succeeding government. And that is why this government has made a pronouncement. Even on all the projects that were initiated, even those that were suspended on account of lack of funds, on the floor of this House we have said there is not a single project initiated using that will not be continued with. For these projects were put in place to save the Zambian people. The point I was making is when my honorable member was asked a question, he talked about being shocked. I was just saying, look, this started when he was holding the levers of power. So he should have been shocked at that time. You keep talking about the 11 million. I haven't talked about the 11 million. I've talked about 13 million that was disbursed. You are saying what has happened to that money. I've talked about the number of kilometers that we are done and what is still outstanding, and the fact that extra works were identified. My words is, what I said is the budget's being revised to include additional road sections that have been identified as requiring urgent attention. So yes, 13 million was disbursed, but it was not even under force account. We think we need an extra 22 million kwacha to complete this work, to be able to continue with the works. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Member for Bangweulu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Minister, we do really have a challenge on that road between a place called Bulongwa and Twingi. There is a bad stretch that will soon be cut off. This is the area that have about 100,000 inhabitants, and is a major road that connects even Ilunga and Zambia. So, would there be any immediate intervention, Minister, to ensure that the stretch that is completely bad will be worked on very soon? Because just to wait until the rains go down may result into our people being cut off from accessing the Boma, as it were. So is there any immediate intervention that you can put in place to ensure that that bad stretch is worked on as soon as possible, so that we can allow free movement of people, goods and ideas? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Anthony Kasandwe, these offices we hold as ministers, they are public offices. Where we sit, these are not our buildings, they are buildings that belong to the Zambian people. All the ministers you see here welcome all members of parliament to engage, to be told what's happening. I have never ever turned down an honorable member who wants to see us. Question quiz, we have done Chiburuma Road, and you are happy. So make a habit, Honorable Kasandwe, to be liaising with us. You are perfectly within your right to come here and raise, but I think the main thing that I want to say on your follow-up questions is I've heard what you have said about Bulongwa, connecting Bulongwa and the Twingi. As soon as I'm able to, I will speak to RDA, especially the regional office, the regional engineer, to make them aware of the need to pay particular attention on this particular section so that people are not cut off. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The last member, the Honorable Member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving a chance to the people of Lundazi to make a follow-up question on behalf of the people of Bangweulu. Honorable Minister, stored works are a cost, and really they are a challenge because you have to spend more money to complete it. I have been. Whilst there is joy in Katunda Watopa, you can see even how the MP is sitting. His road is done and is getting done. There is joy in Chikankata. There is joy in Chadiza. There is no joy on the Chipata Lundazi Chama Matumbo Road because of stored works. These remain a pain in our lives, even as we go back to the constituencies. It's actually affecting our movement. If you are failing to complete a 6 kilometer, because this MP is only requesting for a 6 kilometer.
Can you go straight to your question?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is the last day, as her Honour Vice President said. So we have to make sure that our pain is really offloaded to you so that you can have homework when you go back. Madam Speaker, would it be difficult gravel road during this time? You can also and a Happy New Year. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Before the minister comes in, there's an indication for a point of order. The Honorable Member for Mongu Central.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm sitting here quietly listening to the Honorable Member of Parliament for Lundazi, who is supposed to be Secretary General of the former ruling party, which was in charge of this country for 10 years. He is lamenting about 60 kilometers. When 6 kilometers, when his own party, when our own party, for 10 years they were in charge of this government, and they failed to do that 6 kilometers. Is she in order, Madam Speaker, to come and lament like this when she's a Secretary General of the former ruling party? I think you're serious ruling, Madam Speaker. This premise on the 71 of our standing orders. Thank you.
Order, honorable members. As far as I'm concerned, there is a question before us. And that question needs response from the Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. So if the members, they want to sneak in other things, please, let's not do that. Let's just go straight to the question, because the Honorable Member for Bangweulu needs answers before he goes back to his constituency. And that is exactly what we are doing. So, can we proceed so that we get that answer? Although the question was so broad, but I know the Honorable Minister for Infrastructure got part of the question. The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. If the Honorable Member for Lundazi was not aware, I actually admire her. because I think she does debate very well. Your debate yesterday on albinism, I think, touched my heart. You did extremely well. But in your, that's the admiring I was talking about. But in terms of the way she started the question, she talked about Katunda Watopa, it's done. She talked about Chikankata, done. I think that's a divisive way. Because she herself checked herself and then added in Chipata Chadiza. Yeah, that was an afterthought. The issue on Chipata Lundazi, no government has put it at a higher priority than this government. Had what planned to do not been interrupted by the changes in America, that road would have been halfway done. However, we have not given up. We are still pushing. There is a chance that even that funding might come back. We appreciate that. That particular place, she knows, was one of the first places that I visited as a Minister of Infrastructure. We look at every corner of this country as requiring development. I have said here that there is no way you can be like President Hakainde Hichilema wanting to grow the economy of this country to 80 billion in his second term if you leave parts of the country behind. You can't. So we shall develop the whole country wholesomely. With respect to 6 kilometers that she's talking about, that we are failing to do that. Yes, we do understand that works that are postponed, ultimately they are very, very costly. But a number of these were postponed in the last administration. She must accept that. What we have said here is that we are going to allocate money to undertake and complete the whole works. And in the meantime, in my last answer just now, I've listened to what the Honorable Member, Honorable Kasandwa, said, that there's a particular section, Bulongwa to Twingi, that requires extra attention. The way I work is as soon as I'm able to, I'll make calls so that we alert people this particular, because we don't want anybody, if it's possible, to be cut off. Thank you.
Thank you. We've spent enough time on question 124. Before we move to the next question, I'm going to allow the Honorable Member from Fuwe to deliver his maiden speech. The Honorable Member from Fuwe.
Madam Speaker, I raise today deeply humbled and honored.
Order, honorable members. You may continue, Honorable Member from Fuwe.
Thank you. Madam Speaker, I raise today deeply humbled and honored to stand in this august house as the duly elected representative of the good people of Mfuwe parliamentary constituency. I pledge before you and before the people who entrusted me with this sacred responsibility that I will serve as a member of parliament with integrity, resilience, and passion. Madam Speaker, allow me to particularly express my profound gratitude to the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for his visionary leadership. I further extend my appreciation to the National Chairperson of the United Party for National Development, UPND, Mr. Collins Maoma. The following cabinet ministers: Honorable Elvis Nkandu, MP; Honorable Felix Mtati, MP; Honorable Chipoka Mlenga, MP; Honorable Elias Mwanga, MP; and the UPND chairperson for election, Honorable Gary Nkombo, MP. In addition, I want to express my gratitude to the National Youth Chairman, Mr. Gilbert Riswaniso, the Office of the Provincial Minister from Chinga Province, the UPND Provincial Executive Committee, the former Lavushmanda District Chairperson, Madam Mavis Narwimba, and the constituency chairperson, Mr. Douglas Shebeli. All these people and others worked tirelessly in support of my election bid. I would also like to thank the District Commissioner for Lavushimanda for exhibiting non-partisanship in ensuring a fair and free election. In the same vein, I would like to salute their loyal INSS, Chief Chundaponde and Chief Mpumba, for preaching peace and unity during the campaign period. Madam Speaker, may I also extend my heartfelt appreciation to my family, especially my beloved wife, Angela Mufunero, whose steadfast support, encouragement, and sacrifices made it possible for me to be elected Member of Parliament. She stood by me throughout the campaign journey, and I am forever grateful. Above all, I would like to acknowledge the resilient people of Mfue constituents and assure them that the mandate entrusted in me to represent their voice in this House is a responsibility I do not take for granted, but rather carry it with deep humility and commitment. Madam Speaker, allow me now to highlight some achievements the country has recorded under the leadership of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia. Economic growth. The diversification of the economy and the promotion of investment has created opportunity for economic growth for the people of Zambia. For example, the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, has directly benefited in Mfue, delivering vital projects in infrastructure, health and education. Similarly, grants amounting to Zambian kwacha 2,484,000 have been disbursed to women, youths, and vulnerable groups in Mfue, fostering entrepreneurship and community resilience. Communication. Investment in this sector have improved connectivity and made life easier for our people in Mfue. In particular, the recent commissioning of communication tower in Mwere and Mweru and technology, Honorable Felix Mtati, has enhanced digital access, bridging the communication divide. Education. I cannot overemphasize the importance of the free education policy of the UPND government. To this end, the introduction of free education is transforming lives in Mfue by ensuring more children have access to learning opportunities, thereby opening doors to a brighter future. For this, we are grateful. Madam Speaker, despite these milestones, Mfue still faces pressing challenges, including poor road infrastructure, particularly in areas like Mutumba and Kamwendo, where access is limited to working cycles or detour, which takes a long time to reach destination. A major concern also is the Chundaponde Mwere Road, which remains in a deplorable state. Madam Speaker, this road, a lifeline for the people of Chundaponde Chiefdom, as it connects farming areas, schools, and health facilities. Therefore, without its rehabilitation, economic activities, service delivery, and access to markets remains every constraint. In addition, the lack of adequate health facilities has forced people to walk long distances to the nearest health facilities, putting the lives of our citizens at great risk. Madam Speaker, allow me now to highlight some achievements Other pressing issues. Other pressing issues include limited access to clean water and sanitation, forcing families to travel long distances to access water sources, erratic communication networks in some areas, thus hindering effective participation in national development, lack of electricity, living in Mfue underdeveloped in key sectors. Erratic communication network, some areas thus hindering effective participation in national development, lack of electricity, living in Mfue and underdeveloped in key sectors since independence, and stop tourism and cultural potential constrained by poor infrastructure. In view of the aforementioned, I humbly call upon the government to prioritize Mfue in the routes of the capital projects that can unlock its potential and uplift the livelihoods of its people. Madam Speaker, as the servant of the people of Mfue, I affirm my resolve to uplift the lives of the people of Mfue by addressing the following priority areas among others: road infrastructure to improve connectivity and unlock economic potential. Education and health, to ensure every child and every citizen has access to quality education and health services. Economic empowerment, to champion job creation, enterprise development and skills training for youth, women and vulnerable groups. In conclusion, as I conclude, Madam Speaker, I pledge to uphold the trust placed in me by the people of Mfue and work tirelessly in collaboration with your office and the executive and my fellow members of parliament to ensure that no citizen of Mfue is left behind in Zambian development journey. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. Order, we make progress. The next question, questions for oral answer understanding order number 80. The Honorable Member for Kasenengwa.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. The people of Kasenengwa would like to ask question number 125. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the Honorable Member for Kasenengwa, Honorable Philemon Itwasa. His question to the Ministry of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development is in 5 parts. A, whether the government has any plans to construct Kasenengwa Bridge across Kasenengwa River on Musoro Road in Kasenengwa District. B, if so, when the plans will be implemented. C, who the contractor for the project is. D, what the estimated cost of the project is. And E, if there are no such plans, why? We answer as follows. A, the government has plans to construct the Kasenengwa Bridge across the Kasenengwa River on Musoro Road in Kasenengwa District.
Order, honorable members, the consultations are becoming louder. Can we give room to the Honorable Minister to respond? Honorable Minister, you may continue.
Thank you. B, the plans will be implemented once an assessment is undertaken. C, no contractor has been appointed as the government is considering undertaking the civil works under force account through Road Development Agency, Eastern Province Regional Office. D, the cost of the project will be known once the assessment has been done. And E, as indicated at A above, the government has plans to construct a bridge across the Kasanengwa River on Musolo Road in Kasanengwa District. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Kasanengwa.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much one more time for this opportunity. Hearing the response, Madam Speaker, from the Minister of Infrastructure, the assessments have not yet been done. And yes, the Kasanengwa Bridge will be worked on. The critical question coming from the people of Kasanengwa is, when are these assessments going to be done? Or how soon will government move in to construct that bridge? Because even as we are talking right now, after a heavy downpour, people are stranded. No one can cross that river right now. Vehicles, motorbikes, ox carts, and pedestrians are stranded right now, waiting for the waters to subside so they can cross. So when is the government going to move in to do that bridge? I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Madam Speaker, we feel for the people of Kasanengwa at this crossing point, the difficulties that the Honorable MP is saying they're going through. The desire of government is we ease the lives of the people. The local authority in that area did carry out some assessment of the bridge. That was done. However, due to passage of time, the site conditions, in our view, may have changed. And a assessment, in fact, what we're going to do is a reassessment, since the first one was already done. This will be undertaken, the reassessment will be undertaken in the first quarter of 2026. The Road Development Agency, RDA, and the local authority will jointly assess the crossing point. And the Honourable Member can also lean on the local authority so that they help ensure that this reassessment is done quickly. What government is considering, Honourable Member, is that we undertake the undertaking of the civil works under force account, that is RDA undertaking those works through the regional office. And the Honourable Member and I can jointly call the regional engineer, Engineer Skombe, just to make sure that these assessments are done as quickly as possible. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honourable Member for Kasanengwa.
Madam Speaker, thank you. I hope the people of Kasanengwa have gotten the response from the Minister. He has told the people of Kasanengwa that the assessments will be done in the first quarter of 2026, and he has helped me to try to lead that initiative. And I can assure you, Minister, by second week of January, which is also in the first quarter of 2026, I'll be in your office, and I'll also prevail over the people at the local authority and RDA regional office. And I want to thank you that when I came to your office to talk about Musoro Road, you did not waste the time. You responded right there and then. So this time around, I'm hoping, sir, Honorable Minister, that we are going to approach the problems of Musoro River with the same zeal that you did on Musoro Road. So expect me in the second week of January. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. That was a comment. Next question, the Honourable Member for Chilanga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Question number 126.
The Honourable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Alonso, would like to find out from the Minister of Health in the A, how many of the following health facilities are earmarked for construction under the Build to Care program countrywide. Also within the same question, district hospitals and health centers. In B, how many districts have been selected to benefit from the program? In C, what the names of the districts are. In D, what criteria was used in selecting the districts above. And also in E, if Chilanga district is not among the selected districts, why? Madam Speaker, allow me to provide a brief statement on the meaning of the phrase Build to Care program as used by the Honorable Member of Parliament for Chilanga. NMSI Build to Care refers to a major youth care infrastructure project by NMS Infrastructure and African governments such as Zambia and Zimbabwe to design, build, and equip modern, fully equipped district and mini hospitals, especially in rural areas, improving healthcare access, patient outcomes, and achieving universal health coverage. Goals: the initiative provides comprehensive facilities, that is maternity and lab, etc., that is extra, and focuses on sustainability, bringing quality healthcare closer to underserved communities. Madam Speaker, having explained the program, allow me to give responses to the various sections of the question by the Member of Parliament. In A, the following health facilities are earmarked for construction under the Build to Care program countrywide. Part 1, district hospitals. Madam Speaker, under the program, a total of 10 district hospitals is earmarked for construction, with 5 already completed under phase 1 and 5 are earmarked for construction under phase 2. In 2 health centers, Madam Speaker, on the program, a total of 235 health centers is earmarked for construction, with 111 already completed under phase 1. Remaining 4 and 120 health centers will be constructed under phase 2. Madam Speaker, you may wish to know that the government has since signed the phase 2 of the program. In B, Madam Speaker, 69 districts were selected under phase 1 and the 90 districts have been selected under phase 2. In C, Madam Speaker, given that the list is long, we have submitted attachments to that captures the districts under each phase. In D, Madam Speaker, the criteria included, among others, catchment population, district from the nearest existing facility, proximity, matters of emergencies and follow-up visits, major causes of morbidity and mortality. Madam Speaker, in E, that Chilanga district is part of the districts selected under the program for construction of a health center. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary questions? I see none. The Honorable Member for Namwala.
Thank you so very much, Madam Speaker. Through you to the Minister. Minister, may I know whether it's possible to come up with a schedule or a list of hospitals and health posts which you intend to construct in the near future, rather than us continuing asking you as per constituents to find out the status of the same. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thought I made it very clear that there were 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. And the lists are too long. I will make them available. They are attached here. In fact, I'll be putting them here for you. I don't know what it means in the future. Is it other than these ones, which I'm talking about, or the future, those who will come maybe after 2026? I need to be clarified on that one. Thank you.
The Honorable Member for Namwala, are you talking about the present facilities or the future, so that the Minister can conclude his response?
Thank you so very much, Madam Speaker. It's the future, not the list that he is having now.
Thank you. You respond as you take in the question, the last question from the Honorable Member for Chilanga. The Honorable Member for Chilanga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, firstly, I did not get the Minister clear as to whether Chilanga has been considered. And I just wanted to make it known to the Minister that, Honorable Minister, in Lusaka province, Chilanga is the only district without a level 1 hospital. Yet we have a bigger population than districts like Chongwe, Rufunsa, Luangwa, and Kafue. So I just wanted to find out when government is going to consider constructing a level 1 hospital in Chilanga. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I put it very clear that out of these which are being constructed in phase 1 and phase 2, Chilanga is a beneficiary. In fact, to be specific, these are earmarked for Kanziva, Mount. When it comes to level 1, this depends on the fiscal space. When you look at Chilanga, Chilanga is near Kanyama, Chilanga is near Chawama. It couldn't be given a period at the moment. We have areas where completely have no big hospitals of level 1. It will be attended to when money or if the treasury has got enough capacity. It will not be ignored. This government is considering every place. But at the moment, Chilanga is not so disadvantaged. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
The last member, the Honorable Member for Senanga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to ask the Honorable Minister of Health, what is the total cost for the facilities to be constructed in Chilanga? Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Madam Speaker, could you repeat the question?
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Minister, you've indicated that you have what you've allocated to Chilanga constituency. My question is, how much is it going to cost? How much is allocated in Chilanga? Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister of Health.
Madam Speaker, the question did not hint on the costs that are involved. But what I know is level 1 hospital, district hospital, costs around 111 million kwacha. The mini hospitals are much lower than that. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Private member's motion, the Honorable Member for Kanfinsa.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that this House urges government to facilitate the revision of the Ziali rules. I thank you.
Is the motion seconded?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Seconded by the Honorable Member for Mfulira. The question is that this House urges the government to facilitate the revision of the Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education, ZIALE, examination rules. Any debate? The Honorable Member for Kamfinsa.
Madam Speaker, allow me to thank your office once again for allowing me to bring this private member's motion. Madam Speaker, a private member's motion that is urging government to revise the examination rules. And I want to state, Madam Speaker, from the onset, that currently the rules that govern exams for those that want to acquire a license to be advocates of the High Court, currently, Madam Speaker, we have a law which is an Act of Parliament, and that Act of Parliament, Madam Speaker, empowers the Minister of Justice to issue a statutory instrument. So currently, Madam Speaker, the rules are sitting in an SI. And that is why today, Madam Speaker, I decided to bring the conversation to Parliament. If it was up to me, Madam Speaker, I would have done proposed amendments to the existing law. But unfortunately, I have no powers to issue a statutory instrument. The SI, Madam Speaker, is only a document that can be issued by the current Minister of Justice. Madam Speaker, in 2021, SI number 49 was issued to provide exam rules. This SI, Madam Speaker, was amended in 2025. So currently, we have statutory instrument number 49 of 2025, which provides for how someone who has acquired a degree can then apply to our institution called ZIALI to sit for exams. So what am I suggesting today, Madam Speaker? My proposal today is that we need to revise the rules that govern examinations at the institute called ZIALI. And there are two specific issues, Madam Speaker, that I'm focusing on for the attention of government through the Minister of Justice. The first proposal, Madam Speaker, I wish to make, and I want to be very clear. Madam Speaker, the students who apply license are supposed to write 11 subjects. Better still, what they are called 11 heads. They have their own way of calling them, but they are basically 11 subjects. The requirement under the current law, Madam Speaker, is that within 3 attempts, you write your first attempt, you must pass a minimum of 4 exams. The remaining 7, you have to finish them in the remaining 2 attempts. Now, Madam Speaker, it is not the choice of the student that sometimes they face challenges and they fail to complete the 11 exams in the 3 attempts that are provided for in the law. The SI is very clear. Within 3 attempts, you should finish your exams. So you pass your first 4 exams, and on your second attempt, again you pass another 3, you are remaining with 4. The law prescribes that the remaining 4 have to be completed in the remaining opportunity you've been given. But for whatever reason, Madam Speaker, you don't manage to pass the remaining 4 exams in the remaining slot. It means that you have to be banned for 3 years under the current law. 3 years, someone who has passed 10 out of 11 will be required to go and sit at home and wait for 3 years, Madam Speaker, until ZIALI allows them to go and write the same exams all over. So my first submission, Madam Speaker, is that we can't have a provision in the law, which is the statutory instrument, which actually provides a ban. Madam Speaker, why are we providing a ban to someone who has sat for exams? They've paid and they've passed close to 10 or even 9 subjects, only to remain with one. You are told, go back, wait for 3, then you will allow you to come and pay another amount of money for you to be able to sit for exams. So my first submission is that through the Minister of Justice, through another statutory instrument, an amendment should be done, Madam Speaker, to remove the ban. If someone has not been able to complete their exams, they have not been able to pass the 11 subjects within the 3 attempts that are provided for in the law, Madam Speaker, my submission is that Minister sitting here to revise that regulation. That regulation can be revised to remove the 3-year ban. And I want to be put on record, Madam Speaker, we've got countries like South Africa, where we have people that want to become lawyers. We've got countries like Kenya, Madam Speaker, where there is no provision for a ban. What is the difference between Zambia and other countries where there is legal practice? Why should there be a discriminatory provision in our laws? For someone who has not been able to pass the exams in the 3 attempts to be told, go and sit at home, come back after. What's the purpose of that ban, Madam Speaker? What is the intention of denying people the opportunity to go and sit for those exams? For whatever reason, they did not make it. So that is my first submission. My second submission, Madam Speaker, and for me, there are 2 specific submissions. My second submission, Madam Speaker, which is a recommendation to the Minister, and I believe the Minister is familiar with these procedures. If someone has not managed to pass the exams on the 3 attempts, currently the SI provides for an appeal option, meaning you've not been able to finish your exams in the 3 attempts, you write to ZIALI to be given the opportunity to write that extra exam that you've not been able to. Madam Speaker, On record, the statistics are showing that majority of those appeals have not been considered. So to avoid this discriminatory option where the council decides, it is in their wisdom to decide who is given the appeal option. My submission, Madam Speaker, is that the law, which is the SI, should provide a fourth attempt. Someone has written exams at first attempt, they pass out of the courses, they write at second attempt, they write at third attempt. One or two courses, Madam Speaker, the submission from the people of Kamfinsa is that we need to give Zambians who are aspiring to be lawyers a fourth attempt, and this attempt, Madam Speaker, will have conditions. The Ziali Council will sit, they will decide who qualifies for the fourth attempt. Madam Speaker, that is in the powers of the Minister of Justice, and that is why today I thought that I could lay the ground for providing the clarity on what we need to do, Madam Speaker. I want to end by submitting that, Honorable Minister, through you, Madam Speaker, there are people that want to live their dreams. If their dream was to become a lawyer, Madam Speaker, let the law not deny them that opportunity. If their dream was to one day be an advocate of the High Court, Madam Speaker, we can't deny Zambians that opportunity. The jurisdictions that I have cited, Kenya, South Africa, Madam Speaker, there are provisions that do not limit how many times someone should sit for exams. And what is so special about our legal practice in Zambia? For me, I think that we have young men and women, even elderly people, Madam Speaker, who would one day want to be called to the bar at the High Court of Zambia. An opportunity today has presented itself for all of us members of Parliament to remove the 3-year ban, Madam Speaker, and to also provide an extra opportunity, which is the fourth attempt, for people who want to be lawyers to be able to acquire the license. Madam Speaker, due to the limitation of time, I want to thank your office, and I hope that this House will support the proposal. I thank you.
Thank you. Does the seconder wish to speak now or later?
Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Member from Fulira.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity to accord me to second this very important motion moved by the Honorable Member of Parliament for Kamfinsa, Honorable Christopher Kangombe. Madam Speaker, this motion urges the government to revise the examination rules for the Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education. Madam Speaker, this motion does not seek to lower the standards in terms of legal training and admission to the bar, but the motion just seeks to provide equitable chances by everyone who seeks to practice in the legal profession of this country. Madam Speaker, you will agree with me that this country requires more and more legal services in the length and breadth of the country. Currently, we do have the concentration of legal practitioners on the Copper Belt and in Lusaka, in the outskirts of this country, where people still need legal representation. It is very hard to find. But, Madam Speaker, the current rules, as highlighted by the mover of this motion, brings out 3 main challenges. The first challenge, Madam Speaker, is that there are 11 heads that one must pass at Ziali in order to be admitted to the bar. And if one fails to clear all the 11 heads in 3 attempts, then they face an automatic ban for 3 years before they can restart. That is the problem number 1, which the mover of the motion has ably debated and provided solutions. The second issue, Madam Speaker, is that if someone on the first attempt fails to clear more than 4 heads, then they are asked to resit all the 11 heads. Now, Madam Speaker, this practice is not just retrogressive, it delays the legal progression. Madam Speaker, those that have gone through the accountancy training, especially the old times, there used to be such a system. For example, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants would do the same practice, that if you fail to reach a certain mark, then whatever credits that you have grabbed from you, and you are asked to receipt even the papers that you passed. But that has since long gone. Even if you sit for one paper, when you pass it, it is given to your credit. When you progress, and there is no ban that you have to sit 3 or 4 attempts before you can be. And that is what we are calling even now, Madam Speaker, that even Ziare can take the same route. If someone has the time and opportunity to sit on the first attempt and clears one head, let that head be given to their credit. The next time they sit for another 1 or 2 or 3, as long as they have passed, it must be held to their credit until they finish all the 11 heads as it were, as at now. And that is where even the mover of the motion has said we must lift the term limit in which you must clear the papers. Madam Speaker, the other problem is that if someone fails to clear on the first sitting, then they are subjected to repeater exams. So you can only sit for repeater exams, which is also a problem. Madam Speaker, someone, as long as there is an opportunity to sit for examinations, whether in the same session, the first sitting, or it's a repeat exam, someone must be given that opportunity to sit for the examination as long as they are ready. Subjecting those who fail to clear on the first attempt to repeater examinations, again, delays the progression in terms of qualifying and admission to the bar. So, Madam Speaker, as the mover of the motion mentioned, what we need is a revision to the SI that stipulates these rules, so that we give an opportunity to those that have the passion, those that want to enter this legal profession, to be given an opportunity. And it is a core that we don't lower the standards, but we align this even to international best practice. What we need in this country is more and more legal services offered to the people, but currently that is being hindered by the examination rules that are administered at Ziare, and that is why this motion is calling on the government that we need to look at this so that we expand and give an opportunity to more and more that would like to practice in this field. Madam Speaker, with these points, I wish to mention that I second this motion and urge this House, Madam Speaker, to support the motion. I thank you.
Any further debate? The Honourable Member for Katombola.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for according the people of Katombola constituency to add a voice, trying to speak to the motion that has been moved by the Honourable Member for Kanfinsa. Madam Speaker, speaking from the bar where I'm privileged to be myself, I want to indicate that we do not support any amendment or proposals that are being moved by the Honourable Member for Kanfinsa, for a simple reason, Madam Speaker, that Ziare started in 1968. It hasn't been formulated today. These are rules for quality assurance. A lawyer is a refined person, a practitioner who handles people's affairs, clients' money, and a lot of other issues. So they are trained at high standard, and the people of Katombola constituency wish to press it on record that we do not support those changes because they are unjustified. The issues that has to do with the rules that we follow as practitioners have been developed over a long period of time, and these precedents have existed in time immemorial, and we cannot cut corners for the simple reason that the Honourable Member for Kafinsa has been failing to pass at Ziare. Just because he has that opportunity here, the rules must change to accord him the opportunity to pass. There is no shortcut to maturity.
The Honourable Member for Katombola, let's not debate ourselves. Let's stick to the content of the motion.
I'm guided, Madam Speaker, and I withdraw the proposition that my dear colleague from Kafinsa failed the exam. The point I'm making, Madam Speaker, is that the legal fraternity is a very unique, esoteric profession for distinguished men and women who aspire to those ranks and file by training. So in terms of quality assurance, we cannot change the rules to make sure that people who have failed 3-4 times must continue writing and rewriting. These rules cannot be accepted, and all of us went through that same training, and that we want to indicate very clearly, Madam Speaker, that we do not support, and we want to encourage those who are aspiring to be lawyers to work extremely hard when they are at Ziare, to work extremely hard and not count on failing 4, 3, 5, 10 times. There is nothing like that in the legal fraternity. Madam Speaker, in the legal fraternity, we say the degree, the law degree is yours, but the license is ours as an institution called the Law Association of Zambia. I thank you, Madam Speaker. We do not support.
The Honorable Member for Chiruvi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like first to recognize that an SI is part of the laws of Zambia according to Article 7C of the Constitution. Madam Speaker, when we look at these factors, the motion is simple. It's not talking about people failing, then being accommodated to receive a practicing certificate. The motion is talking about people trying their best until they pass, so that they are qualified. So the question of quality assurance, Madam Speaker, does not come in, because the institution that is providing this particular exam can only admit someone to the bar after they have passed. So it's not about failing and passing. That is in the debate. It is about giving chance. Madam Speaker, what does the Constitution say about giving chance? Madam Speaker, in Article 23, there is a clause on discrimination, of how people are not supposed to be discriminated. And in the law, it has to obey the supremacy of the Constitution according to Article 1 of the Constitution. And the particular SI, which is SI number 49, as elements of discrimination. Therefore, put on the weight of Article 23, especially Clause 2 and Clause 3, may not pass the test. Madam Speaker, there is a law of supply and demand. And the law of supply and demand, Madam Speaker, when we follow client-lawyer ratio in Zambia, it's quite a big gap. Madam Speaker, as we see it in Zambia, lawyers are concentrated in Lusaka, lawyers are concentrated in Copper Belt. But there is an article, Madam Speaker, that talks about fair trial. And the access to justice also means that those with the money who can buy lawyers, and some of these lawyers that are trained, find themselves in institutions like legal aid and any other avenue where members of the public can access by qualifying Article 18, which talks about fair trial. Madam Speaker,
Honorable Member for Chiruvi.
Yes.
The motion on the floor of the House is very straightforward, that this House urges the government to facilitate the revision of the Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education examination rules.
Yes.
Very simple.
Madam Speaker.
If we can stick to the motion, just like what the mover described, what he was talking about in his motion, if we can be guided by what he was explaining or debating on the floor of the House.
Madam Speaker, I don't think that I'm really away from the motion. What I'm talking about is that the lawyers that are trained through Ziale, some of them end up being judges, some of them will end up practicing. And when I brought in the motion, the element of supply and demand, Madam Speaker, what I'm trying to talk about is that the people who have LLB or first degree, the undergraduate degree, can be hindered from becoming lawyers because of the acrimonious SI. And that's what I want to clarify, Madam Speaker. And in qualifying, I have quoted Article 18, which talks about fair trial. And fair trial, Madam Speaker, representation in court. Talks about representation in court. The lawyer comes in, and this lawyer should be trained. That is what I'm trying to say, Madam Speaker. And When we look at the other article that
the honorable member for Chirubi, yes. We are not talking about why we should have lawyers. That is not where the motion is heading to. We are talking about revising the examination rules that are being taken by the lawyers. We need the lawyers. They have to go through that examination. But the honorable member for the move of the motion talked about all the hindrances that they are encountering as taking this line that you are supposed to debate. We need the lawyers, but it's the examination, the rules for the examination.
I really am at pains to understand how I've run away from the motion. And my reasoning is this, Madam Speaker. For someone to become a lawyer, for them to practice lawyer, they have to go through Ziale. And if they have to go through Ziale, they have to sit for that exam. And if they have to sit for that exam, what makes them to be admitted at the bar is because they have passed the Ziale exam. And what I was trying to, when I talked about the current ratio and the like, the supply chain for representation is coming from Ziale. And if the supply chain is already hindered by an exam, Madam Speaker, we are going to have an imbalance in terms of representation and fair trial. That is exactly what I'm trying to underscore. And therefore, Madam Speaker, what I'm trying to say is that these exams, which I was supposed to bring in the conclusion, are a precursor to who becomes a lawyer and who doesn't become. And if that is the case, the period and the banner, which is in SI 49, which is the law, hinders people to either have a choice to become lawyers because there are these roadblocks or bottlenecks, or will make them to become lawyers so that they can represent people and they can work as judges in future. It is simple as that. And what I was trying to say, though this one was saying, if you don't know anything, sit down, I know how I'm trying to reason this way. And when I brought in Article 23, Madam Speaker, it is because that the SI 49, from the standing of Article 23, are some elements of discrimination. Because one, it does allow further professional person who desires to be a lawyer. And it is within those parameters, Madam Speaker, that I said that that particular SI, which is SI number 49, should be reviewed in view of Article 1 of the Constitution, because it may be found repugnant to Article 1 of the Constitution. And looking at this, Madam Speaker, I want to support the motion that the leverages that the move of the motion forwarded to this House will provide an opportunity for those that desire to be lawyers through that particular exam offered by Ziale to become lawyers, so that some of them can find themselves as judges, some of them can find themselves as practicing lawyers, and many other. Meaning, they have been given a wider view for life opportunities. Madam Speaker, with those few words, I would like to support the motion, and I think that the motion, in looking at the issues of how long such has existed and the quality assurance. Quality assurance is the output. The input is the exam. And the product should be a lawyer produced who has sat for a Ziale exam. That is quality assurance. Quality assurance is what the result that you get from the exam. It is not the process that defines completely the quality assurance. It is getting that person who has passed Ziale and is admitted to the bar. I submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Justice to respond.
Madam Speaker,
Let me first of all thank the honorable members that have debated and indeed brought the different views on the motion. As we all are aware, this private under consideration seeks that we revise the Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education Exams, ZIALE's rules, so that the 3-year ban is lifted. Madam Speaker, in appreciation, I want to make sure that the House, the public know that this ban was 5 years before that. And it is because of this listening government, Madam Speaker, that even the ban is now only 3 years. I think we need to appreciate where the government is coming from. And the ban has been there for ages, but because we are a listening government, we were able to look into that, and we continue to look into the issues that have been raised. From the onset, therefore, I would like to state that the law that governs the manner in which examinations are conducted at ZIALE, as we all know it, under the Education Act, at Chapter 49 of the Laws of Zambia, and the Institute of Advanced Legal Education Students' Rules, Instrument number 49, which both of my colleagues have alluded to, clearly has provided a progressive way to look at the exams and the way they are administered. When the student rules were promulgated in 2021, the motion provided that a student who failed the legal practitioner's qualification exams, LPQE, in 5 attempts was permanently excluded and indeed banned from writing the same exam. Some students complained, as I've already said, because of the harshness and because of the listening government, Madam Speaker. Right this year, we were able to revise that under SI 49 and hence the current prevailing, because this government believes in giving equal opportunity to all Zambians, as Honorable Fube reminded us of in the Article 1 of the Constitution. And therefore, Madam Speaker, a 3-year ban which also requires the students to re-enroll after 3 years, I did not hear that from my colleagues who were debating. These are progressive ways that your government is listening. To this day, this issue is still being discussed in the Ministry of Justice, and to see how we can better it for our students and indeed all the Zambians. This entails that students at ZIALE now have a second chance, which my colleagues who have brought the motion was never there for so many years. But once again, under the able leadership of this president, through my office, we're able to listen, and now they can enroll and rewrite this very same LPQE exam. Yes, from 5-year ban, that is progress. Prior to the amendment of the student rules, a comprehensive analysis was done as well in the region and beyond. My colleagues have cited South Africa and Kenya, but we went above and beyond. And the position was adopted as one of the best practices. However, we continue to ensure that we keep hearing both sides and we continue to debate. But it is important that a bar examination is to ensure that every person who attains a degree in law is adequately trained in the legal practice before the person is admitted to the bar. So how do we hold that intention and in balance is what this government is all about. Madam Speaker, it is important to put on record that in addition to the comprehensive analysis that was conducted, critical stakeholders that we went to are the Law Association of Zambia,
the judiciary, public and private universities, among others, are also consulted, and we continue to look at this issue, Honorable Member, the mover of this motion. The amendment to the rules was validated by the. We would like to state, therefore, Madam Speaker, that it is the wish and the spirit and the way of doing things under the New Dawn government's policy that every citizen must be given a fair opportunity to reach their maximum full potential that God put in them. And that is why we continue not only to show this in the sector of the economy, but indeed as it relates to the issue of law and to ensure that justice is actually obtained regardless of status in society. The student rules were amended this year, like I've already stated, long away from 1964. And yet, we have only been in power for years, and we are listening, and will continue to listen, in order to remove the permanent ban and give the students a chance. This is where, honorable colleagues, even if you're on the opposition side, you can praise this government for being a government who is listening, for being a government who has removed a ban which was permanent. So that is progress, and will continue to progress. Permitting, therefore, we are grateful to the honorable member, and honorable member, you know that my office is open. We need to continue to ensure that until we reach that which we feel that is even much better, so you shouldn't be hesitant to come to the office. However, after the consideration and what has already been said, what this government has already facilitated in the history of this nation, we are here to say that the revised or the revision of the Zambia Law Institute, the Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education exam rules has been overtaken by events before this motion ever came. And it is for this reason, Madam Speaker, that my fellow colleagues, the one that has brought the motion, the one that has seconded, really are late to the table because this government has gone ahead. With this, I would love to put on record that because we are already ahead of the motion, we are not supporting this motion, but we ask that the honorable colleague and indeed the seconder and other members and the public to continue writing to the Minister of Justice where this issue is still alive, and we continue to interrogate it and see how we continue to work together. This is the government you chose, a listening government, a government for the people. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you. The honorable member for Kanfinsa, wind up debate.
Madam Speaker, I want to start by thanking the seconder of the motion, Honorable Gordon Mwila, for supporting the motion. I want to thank my colleague from Chilubi, Honorable Member of Parliament Fube. I also want to put on record the submission from Honorable Member of Parliament for Katombora. Of course, you did guide my colleague from Katombora. Madam Speaker, I want to indicate that the discussion today is SI number 49 of 2025. And because we are discussing SI number 49 of 2025, Madam Speaker, all the changes that were done from 2021 up to 2025 still fall short of the demands of today, Madam Speaker. And I want to put it on record that the changes that were undertaken may not deal with the issue that we are discussing today, Madam Speaker. What we are discussing today is basically two issues, Madam Speaker. Number one, that there is still an existing ban of 3 years. That existing ban, Madam Speaker, still prevents people from accessing the license for them to be able to law in Zambia. And the submission, and I'm happy from what the minister is saying, I know she didn't just want to agree that these suggestions are very progressive, but I know for a fact that their suggestions we're making are very clear. Number one, there's a 3-year ban, remove it. The 11 subjects, allow them to quickly sit for the exams. The second proposal, Madam Speaker, and this is a summary I'm giving, is that when someone fails the exams within the 3 attempts they've been given, the new submission, which is not in the SI, Honorable Minister, you have an SI with you which is still falling short of 2 things. And I know that you have heard the submission. The submission is that beyond the existing SI, can we clean up the SI, Madam Speaker, so that those students who want to sit for the exam at a 4th attempt, the law, Madam Speaker, should provide that in black and white. And who else, Madam Speaker, than the Minister of Justice, according to the laws of Zambia? If I had the authority, Madam Speaker, I would simply say, let's move an amendment. Unfortunately, I can't make an amendment to an SI. An SI is still within the authority of our Minister of Justice. I therefore want to appeal to everyone that is gathered here this afternoon that we support the proposal to revise the regulations further. If the regulations have not been revised for many years, Madam Speaker, it is not the fault of the Member of Parliament for Kamfinsa. And I want to be put on record, I'm not a practicing student, I'm not studying to become a lawyer, I'm an engineer by profession, and I've studied other programs unrelated, Madam Speaker, to this very important topic. Support the proposal. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. I put the question. The question is that this House urges the government to facilitate the revision of the Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education, ZIALI, examination rules. As many as are of that opinion say aye. All the contrary say no. The noes have it. The question is negative. The clerk will now read the orders of the day.
Estimates of revenue expenditure, including capital and constitutional and statutory expenditure. Consideration of the report.
Honorable members, the House will recall that on Tuesday, 9th December 2025, the House concluded committee work on the estimates of revenue and expenditure, that is including capital and constitutional statutory expenditure for the year 1st January 2026 to 31st December 2026. And the Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning appointed today, Friday 12th December 2025, as the day for consideration of the report of the Committee of Supply. I now call upon the Minister of Finance and National Planning to proceed. The Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted.
Is it your will that the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted? Any objection? I see none. Report adopted. I now appoint the Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning, a committee of 1 to bring up the necessary appropriation bill in accordance with the estimates of expenditure adopted by the House. The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Madam, I beg to present a bill titled the Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2025.
Let the bill be read the first time.
The Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2025.
Day for second reading.
Monday next week, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Public Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2025, report stage.
The Honorable Minister of Home Affairs and Internal Security.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the report of the committee be adopted.
As no notice has been received, is it your will that the report of the committee be adopted? Any objection? I see none. Report adopted. Day for third reading.
Next Monday, Madam Speaker.
Third reading of the bill to be taken on Monday next week. Next order.
The Customs and Excise Amendment Number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 20 of 2025, third reading.
The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be now read the third time.
The question is that the bill be now read the third time. Any debate, any objection? The question is agreed to. Let the bill be read the third time.
The Customs and Excise Amendment Number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 20 of 2025.
Next order.
The Mobile Money Transaction Levy Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 24 of 2025, third reading.
The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be now read the third time.
The question is that the bill be now read the third time. Any debate, any objection? The question is agreed to. Let the bill be read the third time.
The Mobile Money Transaction Levy Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 24 of 2025.
Next order.
The Registration of Business Names Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 26 of 2025, third reading.
The Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, the Acting Minister.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be now read for the third time.
The question is that the bill be now read the third time. Any debate, any objection? The question is agreed to. Let the bill be read the third time.
The Registration of Business Names Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 26 of 2025.
Next order.
The Betting Levy Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 31 of 2025, third reading.
The Honorable Minister of Finance and National Planning.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be now read the third time.
The question is that the bill be now read the third time. Any debate, any objection? The question is agreed to. Let the bill be read the third time.
The Betting Levy Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 31 of 2025.
Her Honor the Vice President, adjournment.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the House now adjourns.
The question is that the House now adjourns. Any debate? Any objection? The question is agreed to. The House is now adjourned.
Thank you for still being with us on Parliament Television. Business of the House has just adjourned, and we just now take a look briefly at the business at the House considered from the time business resumed at 9 hours.
There was one announcement that Madam Speaker made that she recognized the presence in the public gallery of Master Kingsley Mwamba, a grade 3 pupil and young social media influencer from Kanchiwia District. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, welcomed the visitor to the National Assembly.
And Honor, the Vice President did move a motion, suspend standing orders 24-1, 27-1, 34-1, 16-3, and 1 Assembly of Zambia standing orders 2024. And this was to enable the House to sit on Monday 15 Tuesday 16th December 2025 from 09 hours until business is concluded on the order paper on each day, and allow for submissions of proposed amendments to bills during the sitting of the House, as well as consider more than one stage of a bill at a single sitting and thereafter adjourn sine die.
We also had Her Honor the Vice President's question time. This is a segment of 45 minutes. Members of Parliament are given an opportunity to ask Her Honor the Vice President questions without notice.
Thereafter, the House did consider one question for oral answer, number 124, Understanding Order 82, and thereafter the House did consider two questions for oral answer, and these were numbers 125 and 126, Understanding Order 80.
We also had a private member's motion that was moved by Kamfinsa Member of Parliament, Mr. Christopher Karombe, titled Revise the Zambia Institute of Advanced Legal Education Examinations Yearly Rules, and this motion was seconded by Mufulira Member of Parliament, Mr. Gordon Mwira. After debate, this motion has been negatived.
Indeed, Matimba, and thereafter we did see consideration of some bills at different stages, and just now we will be crossing over to the Parliamentary Select Committee appointed to scrutinize the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, and appearing before the committee is the National Congress Party. Keep watching Parliament Television, the only station that endeavors to bring Parliament closer to you.
New Congress Party, I am Imanga Omnyima Jr., Member of Parliament for Nalolo constituency in Western Province, and the chairperson of this select committee. Witness, as you make your submission, I would like to confer you with immunity as provided for under Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, which is the National Assembly Powers and Privileges Act, and gives you immunity against prosecution for what you say before this honorable committee, and you are guided not to mislead the committee, or the reverse applies. Witness, as you make your submission, I guide that we go straight to the objects of the bill, so as we can be able to quickly scroll through. You are guided accordingly, and you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think your guidance is well noted, but as you may be aware, this is a democratic process. Even in the Bible, there is always an introduction. So allow us to give our preamble and then proceed to the...
Witness, if you can summarize, because we have a number of witnesses to attend to, but if you can give a brief summary and not wait for it, because we may not have time, and also we do not want to discuss matters that are in court. As you may be aware, it will be sub judice the court process.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you, Chair. Having received the letter from the clerk of National Assembly, and having been guided last time we came that we are supposed to speak to the clause to clause of the bill, would like to put it on record that as New Congress Party, we acknowledge the matters that are in court. We acknowledge the judgment that was delivered by the Constitutional Court stating that the process of this Bill 7 amendment was not adequately followed. We as New Congress Party are not opposed to the constitutional amendments, but we believe that the legitimacy of the process must be drawn from the people, and would like to state that we stand duty bound to respect the Constitutional Court judgment, and however, following the separation of powers between the judiciary, the state, and the legislature, which is yourself, we are here to submit to the process and state our reasons as to why we may need and why Bill 7 needs to be withdrawn and given adequate time. We go straight to number 1. We have no objection, Chair, to number 1. We come to number 2. And I'll be requesting my Vice President Administration to be reading through so that we are able to give our statement after he reads.
Obliged. Number 2, which seeks to amend Article 47 of the Constitution, that proposes the deletion of Clause 2 and the substitution thereof of the following, that Clause 2 should read as elections to the National Assembly shall be conducted under a mixed member proportional representation electoral system as follows. A, first past the post electoral system for members of parliament contesting for constituency-based seats, and B, proportional representation electoral system for women, youths, and persons with disabilities as prescribed.
Congress Party position on Article 47 is that we are opposed of Article 47 Cap 1, and in the alternative, New Congress Party proposes for a complete departure from the first past the post electoral system to a complete proportional representation electoral system. Reasons are that we see a mixed member proportional representation as an unfair trade of parliamentarians. For example, Chair and the Select Committee, you have members of Parliament like yourselves who go on the ground and compete using your resources.